Miss Willow, are you the producer? You gonna make sure Mama does a good job? All right, let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of Women4Wealth. So today, I'm back to a regularly scheduled program where I do research and I take notes. So one of the things that someone asked is, how do you become wealthy without having rental properties? And I think this is a great question because there's a lot of financial advisors out there that tell you have to have rental properties, that properties are the way to wealth. And I don't have rental properties, and I think I'm pretty wealthy, so let's talk about some ways. Let me give you some ideas. So the first one, build and grow a business. So I'm wearing my Select Power Systems polo today. Honestly, I've got a client video call here coming up when I get done recording this. So that's why I'm wearing my logoed shirt. Why do you want to build a business? Business ownership can offer unlimited income potential, tax advantages, and equity growth. So how do you start a business? You can either start a business from scratch, which is what I did, or you can acquire a business. Grow the revenue and grow the profit, and eventually you can scale or sell it. Now, one of the things I'm doing with my business is I am preparing a succession plan for my son. So my youngest son, Kevin, is probably going to take over the business at some point and allow me to retire. And that's going to give him the opportunity to also become wealthy by growing the business, increasing the profits, and then if he gets to the point and he decides to sell it, he can. I own a consulting firm, but there are also SaaS companies, e-commerce. There are all kinds of niche agencies. There's all kinds of things you can do. I own an engineering firm because I'm an engineer. It's what I've done for almost 3 decades. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. And so that's what I did. Figure out what you're good at. Figure out what you're passionate about. And then think about starting a business. Number 2, invest in the stock market. So historically, the stock market gives 7 to 10% annual gains over time. You get compounding power, and it's a passive way to earn money. So a couple ways to do that. So you can use index funds or EFTs for long-term growth. Consider dividend stocks for cash flow, or you can use tax advantage accounts such as Roth IRAs, 401ks, and HSAs. And I've talked about this before. If your company does 401k matching, you should get the full match. So whatever your company matches up to, make sure at minimum you are investing that much. Because honestly, if your company matches your 401k investment, that's free money for you. It's like increasing your salary, and you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to negotiate. You didn't have to ask for it. A third way to become wealthy without having rental income is to build a high-income career and invest aggressively. You know, a high salary lets you save more, invest more, and achieve financial independence sooner. You know, focus on tech, sales, finance, law, or medical fields, or engineering like me. Continually upskill and negotiate salaries throughout your career. Live below your means and invest the surplus. And because I did that, by the way, I was able to bootstrap and self-fund my company, which is unheard of in this industry. This industry is full of, private equity-backed companies or companies that, Quanta, Bowman Engineering, several of them are actually traded on the stock market. The reason why they went public is to acquire money so they could buy other businesses and scale through acquisition. And that's something else you can consider to do. Number 4, create scalable digital income. So think about scalable digital income. It's low overhead. There's a global reach. Anybody with an internet can access your site or your particular item, and it's recurring income potential. So how do you do it? Create digital products, courses, ebooks, templates. Build yourself a YouTube channel or a podcast. That can get you ad revenue and sponsorship. this is what I'm doing. I hope someday to become monetized, and I hope that I can get some ad revenue and maybe some sponsorship or some affiliates out of this in the future. But honestly, if that never comes, that's okay, because I'm helping others and I have a passion for helping others. I would love to translate it into income, but if it doesn't, that's okay too. Another thing you can do is launch a blog or a newsletter. If you have a blog or a newsletter, you can get affiliate partners, you can get membership dues. So there's, several different ways you can do it, and think about it. Look into them, research. Again, education is the key, is the foundation for wealth. The more educated you are, the better off you are. So do your research, look into some of these things, figure out what you're interested in and where you think you can make the biggest impact. Number 5, you can buy and sell businesses. So why would you do that? You can acquire cash flowing businesses and grow and sell them without needing to start something from scratch. Starting a business from scratch is not easy, let me tell you. So if you can buy a cash flowing business, that is a huge leg up. That's a great opportunity. So how would you do that? Use platforms like acquire.com or micro-acquire to find deals. You can actually get SBA loans to finance the purchases if you don't have the cash on hand. Focus on service-based or digital businesses, things that you can go in, you can look at their operations, you can make improvements, you can increase profitability, and then hopefully, you can either just let it perpetuate and you can have perpetual income and it will just gain momentum. A company can actually get to a point where it's so big that it has its own inertia, that it will just continue to flourish under its own mass. And that's a great point to get to. And once you get to that inertia point, you might just want to keep it. And if it's something that is service-based or digital-based, you're probably going to be able to retire and not spend as many hours working in the business. You could probably part-time work on the business. Number 6, develop intellectual property. IP, like patents, books, software, can generate long-term royalties and licensing income. How do you do it? Write a book or develop a patent product. License a creation or invention to companies. So write a book. I've written 2 books. I've got a 3rd book that I'm in the process of writing. There is no reason anyone that has any knowledge can't write a book. If you know anything about any topic, write a book, self-publish on Amazon. It is so easy and it's zero money. You don't have to pitch to a book publisher and go through all that process and rigmarole. Number 7, focus on tax strategy and wealth protection. So you want to make sure you keep more of what you earn and you accelerate your wealth building dramatically. And you can do that with tax strategy and wealth protection. So how do you do that? Work with a tax advisor, work with an expert, use business entities, retirement accounts, and legal strategies. Whatever you can do within the law that's ethical and moral, you should be doing to keep more of your own money so that you can grow wealth for yourself and you can create a legacy for your family. So those are 7 ideas on how to become wealthy without having to have rental income. Until next time, I wish you health and wealth.